I've found three main components to sustainable growth that I want to make a foundation of this mastermind. Those three things are learning from other people, collaboration, and continuously improving your content. Hey there, how's it going? So I am starting a mastermind for fishing YouTubers. It'll be focused on helping you grow your channel. This video will sort of cover the what's, how's, and why's of that mastermind group. First off, who am I to even create a group? I mean, I don't even have 1,000 subs yet, right? Right, you are correct. But I do have a track record of building businesses that let me retire from my corporate pursuits at the age of 48. So that's number one. Number two, I've seen steady growth over the first 10 months of my YouTube channel. And in the last month, I've been able to basically 4x that growth. In the month of December, I got 4 times as many subscribers as I had averaged over the previous several months. So I'm starting to get some things figured out. And then the last part of that is I've been studying what it takes to grow on YouTube. How do you create sustainable growth? Now, it would be great to get to 10,000 or 50,000 subscribers in a month, right? But how do you create a community and a sustainable growth pattern on YouTube so that it really becomes a fun journey and it will support the fishing lifestyle that you want? So I've been studying those kind of things. Let me talk a little bit about my YouTube channel. I didn't start it to make money, right? I started it as a way to not work too much in my eBay business. The growth has been entirely organic over those first 10 months. I haven't been posting in Facebook groups or on Reddit or any other places. I haven't been promoting the channel in any way. I've just been creating content and letting the YouTube search algorithm work. In fact, most of my friends have never even seen a link to any of the YouTube videos that I create. A few of them have found them, but for the most part, nobody's even seen that. You know, I feel like I've built a strong foundation for growth. And now in 2023, I'm going to start experimenting with different ways to grow faster. And I'm inviting people to come along with me so that we can figure this out together. I've found three main components to sustainable growth that I want to make a foundation of this mastermind. Those three things are learning from other people, collaboration, and continuously improving your content. The idea of a mastermind is that when you have 2 or more people focused on shared goals, you can achieve exponentially more than what you could do alone. And what I've seen on YouTube is that's exactly how a lot of these larger content creators, these larger YouTubers, have built their channels. So a couple examples. Mr. Beast. I mean, huge. He's probably the biggest YouTuber at all now. He makes millions of dollars a year. It's at least tens of millions, if not hundreds. And he reinvests a lot of that back into helping other people and into his channel. But the fact of the matter is, the revenue is there. I've seen a lot about how he really got started, and he used to, and he still spends actually, it's crazy how many hours he's awake working on YouTube. But in the early days, when he wasn't creating content, he was collaborating with other people, learning what works, learning how to create content that people will enjoy and you'll be able to grow. I mean, he literally devoted almost every waking hour to learning from other people and with other people. So, you know, that's one really good example. But there are a couple others too that I think relate a little bit better to, you know, not becoming like the biggest person on YouTube, but really just how do you grow and how do you work together to achieve more? So think of the Guggen Squad. You know, there's a reason why all of those guys have grown on YouTube. I mean, virtually all of them have grown at a reasonable pace. Most of them are around 100,000 subscribers or more. John B is well over 2 million at this point. I should have checked my numbers, but whether you love the Guggen Squad or not, the fact of the matter is, together they were able to grow as a group. And then outside of fishing, there's another group that I commonly think of as the Dope Squad because they you know, a couple of them had signs and stuff that said that. But it was a group of photography-focused people up in Toronto, Ontario. So the names of Peter McKinnon, Matty Hapoya, Chris Howe, Jesse Driftwood. Can't remember Chris Howe's wife. She wasn't his wife at the time. They all live in this Toronto, Ontario area. And I've watched them all grow because photography was an important part of what I'm into. And it's part of what I try to incorporate, at least the video side of it, into my YouTube channel. I've watched them grow 10x at least, some of them more than that, over the last 4 to 5 years. And they've done it together. They've learned from each other. And it's really amazing to see how they've been able to build that. And so I'm looking to create something like that as well. Like, how do we create a group of fishing YouTubers that learns from each other so that we can grow faster and stronger together? Now, I'm not saying that the next Mr. Beast is going to come out of this group, right? Or even the next Peter McKinnon or John B. But maybe the next Creek Fishing Adventures, maybe the next Fluke Master is created because you're able to learn from all of these people simultaneously, and we can accelerate even more. In the early phases, maybe there's only a handful of people, but we get to know each other a lot more. Maybe we learn faster that way. And as more people grow, then there's more shared knowledge to be able to learn from. So I think 100 is probably the max. And out of that, I bet you 50 people actually apply the stuff and grow. And so, you're not going to be the next Oprah, but I think we can create the channels that we're looking for if we work together. So the second part of this is collaboration. The huge thing that is evident about the Googans and the Dope Squad is that they collaborate. They still do. If you watch any of their channels and you start looking through the videos, you see that they do videos with each other on a regular basis. That is critical to growing your channel. Whether you have 100 subscribers, 100,000, or even 1 million. In fact, I've been seeing a lot more Mr. Beast collaborations than I ever remember seeing before. Why? Well, because he's tapped into the market that he can reach organically, and so now he has to get more into these strategy and filmmaking and other types of channels, and he's doing collaborations with them to expose his channel and his content to an even larger audience. And that's part of what's important. It's important to start very niche down so that people and YouTube itself can figure out what you're about. But as you start gaining a little bit of traction, we need to keep spreading outside of that niche. Collaboration is a great way to do that. And I've done some collaborations, and I want to do a lot more. But I think a mastermind like this will create natural collaboration opportunities. But the other side of it is just learning how to identify the collaboration opportunities and how to go about filming the collaboration things. How do you do the edits? How do you just get people to want to do the collaborations with you? And I think those are all very valuable discussions to have on a regular basis. So collaborations are going to be another huge part of this. And then the last part of it is just tips and techniques, whether it's shooting or editing, or whether it's gear, whether it's the type of content that you create, the format, thumbnails, all of these things that are important to growing on YouTube, we'll be discussing that again as well. And so I've set up a Discord server. I think it'll be great to have things sort of broken down by different topics. Very similar to what I do in some of my gaming pursuits, to be honest with you, which I don't talk about here, but I've been on some very high-performing gaming teams as well. So I want to set the Discord server up similar to that so that we can find the types of information that we're looking for. But then I'd love to have like a weekly call. And so maybe 1 week we'll talk about the collaboration side. Maybe 1 week we'll talk about what's working on YouTube. Maybe another week we'll talk about, tips and tricks. And then maybe a 4th week we'll just have an open Q&A. Like, let's talk about whatever it is. And that can all change, but that's the general format. Is I want to have some live interaction with this as well. So we'll do Zoom calls and stuff. I have a Zoom account, so we'll be able to set that up. So here's the ultimate thing. I know that I'm going to continue to grow on YouTube. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to grow. But I also know that we can grow faster together. So that's why I'm creating the group. Yes, I'm charging $25 a month. And the main reason is I want people to have skin in the game. I want people to be, at least have a little bit invested so that they invest in the group and they invest in their channel. The last thing that I want is just 100 people sitting around listening and not doing anything. So $25 a month, that's less than probably a lot of the subscriptions that you would pay for other tools. If you look at vidIQ, if you look at TubeBuddy, and those are just basic tools that are helping you do some of the things on YouTube. And I use both of them, by the way. I've been part of masterminds over the last 5 years. And in fact, one I've been in for 4.5 years. That group was about helping us figure out how to get out of our W-2 situations. And so I've done that. And 2 years later, I'm still in the group because I'm continuing to learn from it. And that's what I want to see out of this group, is that we create essentially a small band of brothers and sisters, if any of you want to join. We achieve our goals on YouTube. $25 a month, small amount, but it's enough for people to say, oh yeah, I'm paying for that. I want to show up for that call. I want to learn from that. I want to post my wins, whatever it is. So that's it. Fishing YouTubers Mastermind. It's open now. Links down in the description to sign up. You'll sign up through Patreon. Also have my email down there if you want to shoot me an email. So, hey, that's it. If you want to join, great. If you don't, that's fine too. I appreciate you watching. and we're going to keep making all kinds of good content, and we're going to keep growing. So here's wishing you the best in 2023. I hope you hit all of your fishing and your YouTube goals. See you next time.